uitgenodigd. En daarvoor ga ik jullie nu voorstellen aan Chantal van Piek Nieuw West en die zal haar introduceren.
Goedenavond allemaal. We hebben inderdaad een speciale gast vanavond. En dat is Anna Subeliani van Tibilse Pride. En we gaan nu even kort voordat de film begint, willen we iets meer uitleggen over de situatie in Georgië en ook over hoe de film in Georgië zelf is ontvangen. Zodat het zeg maar al een beeld wordt geschetst.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna, for coming to Amsterdam. Can you explain a little bit before we are going to see the film now? But can you explain a bit what the situation is like in Georgia?
Okay. So first of all, I would say that the situation is quite different from the country where you live, and I would say that you're really lucky that you live in the country where diversity is a value and equality is the value which is important for everyone, and community cares about it, and people care on people from different groups. But unfortunately in Georgia, we are a country of very conservative, traditional people. We are a country of very big culture and like a lot of stuff that we are really proud. But situation for a lot of groups, and especially for LGBT people, is very tough. They're the most vulnerable people in our country, and especially I would say transgender people are the most vulnerable. They might be killed or attacked or bullied every day. They don't feel safe at all. So there are like two Georgia. One Georgia is full of people who are really progressive, open-minded. They need real changes. But there are people who are frightened of these changes, who are frightened of the people who are different from them. And the horrible thing also is that the big politics affects this very much, because we have a big enemy, which is Russia, our neighbor country. And Russia has occupied 20% of our country. We had two wars in the last 30 years with Russia, and we had also a civil war. Before that, you know that we were part of Soviet Union, and before Soviet Union, we were also more than 1 century annexed by Russia Empire. So actually, we lost very big time for our development. We were in this very close community when a lot of people were killed from the system because they were like open-minded and they had different view and vision of the world. So also, you know how Soviet Union was that people from our country, they could not travel to like abroad from the Soviet Union. They had like these strict borders. So of course this situation affects the process of development, and actually we are having very little history of being of democracy. We started in the beginning of 90s, and if we see the big picture, we can see that we have big progress in this time. But when you look at this from your personal perspective, and you realize that you have only one life, you need these changes more quickly. So, and especially to go back to the main topic and the group we are talking about, for LGBT people, that's the hardest thing, because Russia still tries to have its influence on Georgia, and like anti-Western propaganda, which includes that like Western society is trying to make all Georgians LGBTs, and this kind of myths are very popular in our country, and Russia uses this, and unfortunately our Orthodox Church is also very homophobic. So these different groups, like Russia is a big enemy, and inside our country, our government, our Orthodox Church and the far-right groups, all they need each other somehow, and they use LGBTs for their interests. Because it's easy for a politician to say one day that he will not allow same-sex marriage in this country, and people are following him because they think that that's very important to keep their national values. But actually it's not like that. Georgians, we were very tolerant people. We had people from different ethnic groups, for instance, and we have this history of understanding each other, but all the politics affects it very badly, and these like influential groups, they're manipulating with people's fears, and that makes the situation harder and harder.
And you also noticed this because suddenly there was this film last year, and Then We Danced, made by a Swedish director of Georgian descent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's...
And all these groups came together at the event when the premiere of the film in Tbilisi, where you were present.
Yes, exactly. What happened around this movie shows the situation in Georgia about LGBT rights very clearly, because the movie is about, I will just say very basic things, I will not spoil, but the movie is about a gay couple who are the dancers of Georgian National Ballet, which is something very like important for Georgians, and it was a very sensitive topic for them, that because it's very masculine, very heteronormative culture, and where women are shy, and they follow what men do, and this dance is mostly having this explanation, and if you see that, you will feel it very clearly. And the man is powerful, and so it was like a deviation from the norm that a dancer of Georgian National Ballet could be a gay guy. So after that, the far-right groups started organizing big, very big, not very big, but very aggressive and loud demonstrations against the people who, against the movie actually, against the creators of the movie, and even the people who were who wanted to attend the movie session premiere.
And you were attacked as well?
And I just, yes, I was attacked, but I went there because all the day we were hearing these threats from these groups. We saw and we knew that police would not be active enough to help people, and some of LGBT community members, they wanted to go to the movie, but they felt really frightened. And then I and some of my colleagues, we followed them to communicate with police and help these people to enter the cinema safely. We did it somehow, but after some of these groups, these people recognized me as an LGBT activist. They threatened me personally and used hate speech. They told me very horrible things, and then after After that, one of them threw a mobile phone, and I was bleeding. And all the TVs were having this in live stream, so it was very emotional and stressful for my family members who actually saw
you being
saw me bleeding on the TV. And as soon as I could, I called my family members and asked them to turn all the TVs off, because I didn't want my son to see how I was bleeding, because he's always nervous when I'm going out on the demonstration or to help anyone. He's 10-year-old, and he's very frightened and very stressed that her mom can be attacked by someone, but he's proud at the same time. And what he told me, even though I tried him to keep the information, and I didn't want him to get the information about my this incident, but I couldn't help it. So after 2 days, he called me and, well, who was that horrible man? I will beat him. And then what he said, he said that, you're my superhero, mommy. And that, because our children's generation, they see how they really need the changes, even though he's really little for that. He still already understands the situation, and he's proud of me, of my friends, and my colleagues' children are like this as well. So it's stressful and empowering at the same time.
That gives hope for the future.
Yeah.
We'll talk, we gaan straks nog na afloop van de film nog even verder praten. Daarna kun je hier ook nog wat blijven drinken en nog verder praten met Anna ook. Dus blijf in ieder geval op deze verdieping naar de film. Maar we gaan nu in ieder geval kijken naar de film. En hopelijk is het nu wat meer duidelijk geworden.
Thank you very much.